Hello, good evening, everyone. This is a regular business meeting of the Augusta City Council, and today is Thursday, June 4th, 2026. We begin our meetings with a Pledge of Allegiance followed by a moment of silence. Please join me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, we're very happy to have guests with us tonight for the presentation leading off tonight's meeting. Tonight's presentation will be about the donation of benches from the Eagle Scout Trenton Franklin. And we'll start with Earl.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to invite Trenton and his dad, Brian, to come up and join me. Good evening, councilors, Mr. Mayor, City Manager. I'm here tonight to introduce you to a young man working towards his Eagle Scout Service Project Award. Trenton Franklin is here with his dad, Brian. He is a freshman at Lincoln Academy, a member of Scouting America Troop 603 in Augusta, and is sponsored by the Maine Arts Academy. He is currently a life rank scout working towards his Eagle Scout Award. So at this time, I'll turn the mic over to Trenton and let him talk about his project and why he chose this as his project.
Thank you. Welcome, Trenton.
Oh, thank you for allowing me to come tonight. It's an honor. So for my Eagle project, I am required to make a project about that will benefit the public, and I wanted to build some benches for the Coombs Mills Cemetery for the VFW. We have already received permission from the VFW to begin, but we just are awaiting approval. So the benches there'll be 6 benches in total. They will be made out of composite lumber, concrete, rebar, and bolts, and they will be constructed on site by volunteer scouts from my troop, Troop 603. And along with that, we will require a backhoe from the city council with an authorized city worker to be able to dig the areas for the crushed stone. Each bench will have an emblem on it, with each bench representing a branch of the United States military, with one for the Air Force, one for the Space Force, one for the Navy, one for the Coast Guard, one for the Army, and one for the Air Force. Marine Corps, sorry. And we will do this project with the emblems being epoxied onto the composite lumber, preventing theft. And the benches they will not be in the ground, connected to the ground, but they will be substantially heavy so that in the event that someone attempts to steal it, it will be too heavy to move without equipment. We will be receiving resources from donations from external sources, and so the concrete will be cast off-site, and the emblems will be ordered. Along with this, we will also receive the composite lumber, and all resources will be transported to the construction area and be assembled by scouts there. Along with this, we will also be So we will require the backhoe to be able to lift the fully assembled benches into place, and we will also use scouts to lay the crushed stone that will be the base of the foundation. I think that's all I have. Any questions?
Sure. My first question is, what inspired you to pick this as a project?
Because the Coombe Mills Cemetery is home to many United States veterans that have served in one of the 6 branches and have died protecting this country.
Splendid. Council Mishu.
Well, I want to thank you very much for your project. I'm very involved with the veterans throughout the state of Maine, and anybody that steps up and does something like this, it really makes me feel good. So I want to thank you, and I just want to throw a little thing out to scouting. Growing up, scouting was very big in this area, and I was with Troop 625, which was on the west side of the river, and Troop 603 was on the east side of the river. I think they've combined forces now, but there used to be a very, very good friendly rivalry between the two troops, the camporees and different things like that. But once again, thank you very much. I love this project, and I can't wait to go over there and see the finished product. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Council Lynn.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Trenton, thank you for bringing this forward. A couple of things I just want to tell you made me smile very, very much. I'm a veteran. I retired from the Air Force. I did a couple of years in the Army, so that much is appreciated. I'm also the former Scoutmaster of Troop 603, going back probably about 20 years ago. Both my sons are Eagle Scouts, and I used to sit on the Eagle Scout Board of Review for this, at the time, Kennebec District. I don't know how they're formed now, but so I know all the work that it takes. I'm looking at your dad too, so it takes a tremendous amount. You should be very proud. People don't appreciate how much work it takes to get to where you're at with the merit badges and the time and the effort, and it's a big deal. The one thing that I always used to ask, and I won't ask you now, but you probably should be prepared for, is the projects are great, but it's supposed to demonstrate leadership, right? So I would be ready to talk a little bit about the leadership, which you kind of did, seeking the resources, coordinating the other scouts, seeking the permits, talking to the city council. That's all leadership, and that's awesome, and that's what scouts teach. And the thing I like about scouts, you know this, you can make mistakes and you're going to learn for the rest of your life. So the Eagle Scout community is a tight community. There are people in business, people in the city. There are lawyers I know, doctors I know that are Eagle Scouts. So keep going. Don't give up. Don't wait till you get near 18. I've had kids sitting at my dining room table days before they turned 18. Get it done and get it done before you have other interests. But this is a fantastic project. Thank you for picking it. And as a veteran, I really appreciate it. So thank you, Trent. Thank you for being in Scouts. And I was really happy when I saw 603. That was awesome. So thank you so much. And you look sharp. Your uniform looks great. Thank you.
Thank you for your service as well.
I think, is that your mom in the back nodding?
No,
No.
unfortunately.
Just somebody nodding. You got approval from the audience, so.
Council Sinkowitz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Hi, Trenton. Thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for this project. I forget which memo it came from that described being at the cemetery and realizing that there wasn't a spot for people to be able to sit and reflect and either honor a loved one or just honor our veterans in that cemetery. So I am very appreciative for the project itself, but I'm also very impressed by the level of thought and compassion that it shows that you had in that moment. I'm really enthused to hear about what the young people in our city are doing all the time. Every time a young person gets up at that podium, I'm more and more impressed about the quality of people that are growing up here in Augusta. So thank you very much. You did a great job, and I look forward to seeing this go forward.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right. When do you think you might be getting started on the project?
We don't have a specified date. We haven't had anything ready yet, but we have a date probably sometime in August or September of 2026, possibly. We want to get this project done before it starts snowing and before the ground gets frozen, so.
Right. Good thinking. Yes. Counselor Judkins?
So have you talked to the city about the backhoe that you need yet?
No, we have not. Yeah, yes, we did, but we just haven't received permits yet. They're required for operation.
Right, well, I'm hopeful that we can work that all out. And thank you for your efforts. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate having you here and you undertaking that project here in Augusta. Looking forward to it.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. All right. All right, we're going to turn to the agenda now. Then first, the consent agenda, which begins with 26078.
26-078, City Manager, Bureau of City Clerk, be it ordered that the minutes of the City Council regular business meeting held May 21, 2026, submitted by the City Clerk's office be hereby approved.
Thank you. Is there any public comment? Hearing none, 26079.
26-079, City Manager, Bureau of Audit, be it ordered that the roll of accounts for May 2026 in the amount of $13,075,370.55 be hereby approved.
I invite any public comment. Hearing none, seeing none. Moving next to new business, orders and resolves, 26080, please.
26-080, City Manager, be it ordered that the city manager be hereby authorized to accept the donation of 6 park benches valued at $1,500 from Trenton Franklin in recognition of the 6 branches of the United States military as part of his Eagle Scout Service project, and be it further ordered that the benches will be installed at Coombs Cemetery at locations approved by the city manager or his designee.
Thank you. Is there any public comment? Hearing none. Let's move next to 26081, please.
26-081, Mayor and Council. Whereas the U.S. DOT released a request for proposals, an RFP, for Essential Air Services, EAS, on March 20, 2026. And whereas 3 companies offering EAS to Augusta submitted proposals to the U.S. DOT, and whereas the city finds the proposal from Contour Airlines would be most advantageous to Augusta and regional residents, and whereas the city council received overwhelming support from the residents and businesses for Contour Airline services, now therefore be it ordered that the city council finds that the community's strong preference for an EAS carrier is the Contour Airlines proposed option B, which plans for service to Boston and Washington, D.C. for a 4-year contract term. The introduction of cabin class jet service, a second hub, and a direct connection to Washington, D.C. from the capital of Maine are all important considerations in this recommendation. The community's second choice for Contour Airlines would be option A, which contemplates service exclusively to Boston.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Is there any public comment? No? All right. Next is 26082.
26-082, City Manager. Whereas the City of Augusta seeks to improve public access to the Kennebec River and strengthen downtown economic activity by enabling safe, convenient transient boat tie-ups and passenger pickup, drop-off access to downtown restaurants and businesses along the Front Street downtown West Bank. And whereas the city has identified the need for a feasibility and cost study to determine the best location for a riverfront bulkhead system, including a preferred and alternate alignment, and to produce a defensible construction cost estimate supported by the survey-based mapping and geotechnical borings, and whereas the USDA Rural Business Development Grant, RBDG program provides competitive funding for rural business opportunity and technical assistance activities that advance economic development. And whereas the city intends to submit an RBDG application requesting
Mr. Mayor.
$150,000.
Council Lind.
Move to waive further reading of item 26082 with consent.
Okay, is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is adopted by unanimous consent. One feature of this proposed order that didn't get to is the fact that this opportunity does not require a local match. Mr. Luke?
Good evening, Mayor. Again, I'm Keith Luke. I'm the city's Economic Development Director. Before the council tonight is a request to authorize submission of a USDA Rural Business Development Grant application for $150,000 to fund a waterfront bulkhead feasibility and cost study along Front Street on the west bank of the Kennebec River. This is very similar to the Northern Border Regional Commission application that the council authorized back in April. Both target the same pre-development work. Staff recommends pursuing both grant opportunities simultaneously rather than waiting on a single funding decision. The study would determine the best bulkhead location, conduct necessary geotechnical borings, and produce a reliable construction cost estimate, the preliminary work that is necessary before we can advance waterfront improvements to support transient boating access to the downtown. As mentioned, a key advantage of this program is that it carries no local match requirement. If awarded, the engineering study would be completed within a year and produce materials suitable for future grant applications and future CIP programming discussions. The application deadline is June 30th. The staff requests the council authorize the city manager to submit the application and execute related documents as required by the USDA Rural Development Authority.
Thank you. Do we have questions for Mr. Luke? I see none. Thank you for your presentation. Is there any public comment? Hearing none, seeing none. We'll move next to 26083, please.
26-083, City Manager. Be it ordered that the city manager be hereby authorized to list for sale the following police department equipment: a Canon XL2 digital video camcorder, Sony HDV Handycam video camera, a Canon AE1 program with lenses.
Thank you. Public comment? Benny? Hearing none. 26084.
26-084, City Manager. Be it ordered that the city manager is hereby authorized to accept grant funding from the 2025 Patrick Leah Bulletproof Vest Program grant, of which the funds of $6,021.55 will not expire until August 31, 2028. The grant requires a 50% match, which is included in the yearly budget. The project covers one half of the replacement of ballistic vests, which have an expiration date of 5 years after issue.
Very good. Thank you. Is there any public comment? Next, we move to new business ordinances being read for the first time with no vote required tonight, and that is 26085.
26-085, Mayor and Council. Whereas the City Council desires to amend the provisions of the City Code governing taxicab operators within the city to update the requirement that taxicab operators obtain and display certain information on the city taxicab driver's license. Now, therefore, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Augusta that Chapter 250 of the City Code of the City of Augusta be hereby amended as follows, with strike-through being text removed and underlined text being added. It's 250-21. Display and issue of driver identification. It shall be unlawful for a person to drive a taxi within the city without first obtaining a taxicab driver's license issued by the city clerk. A taxicab driver's license shall state the driver's name, identification number, the dates of issuance and expiration, the name and address of the taxicab operator's business address, and include a photo of the driver. The cost of obtaining the taxicab driver's license shall be borne by the driver. The taxicab driver's license shall be displayed in the taxicab in a location viewable by passengers at all times, and taxicab drivers shall verbally state their name and identification number to a passenger with a visual impairment upon request.
Very good. Thank you. Is there any public comment? All right, hearing none. Besides an executive session that we have on the agenda for later, we'll move back to the top of the agenda for council action on the various agenda items, and dealing first with the consent agenda.
Move for passage, Mr. Mayor.
Move for passage by Councilor Lind,
Second.
seconded by Councilor Judkins. Discussion. Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries, 7 in favor, 0 opposed.
Next order is 26080 regarding the acceptance of donation of park benches from Trenton Franklin.
Move for passage, Mr. Mayor.
Moved by Councilor Lind,
Second, Mr. Mayor.
seconded by Councilor Judkins. Discussion? All right, please vote.
Motion carries, 7 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. 26081 is the city's recommendation with respect to essential air service.
Move for passage, Mr. Mayor.
Moved by Councilor Lind
Second.
and seconded by Councilor Judkins. Is there discussion among the council? Councilor Mishu?
I see representatives here from Cape Air, and I'm glad you're here tonight. 16 years of nothing but superior service to the city of Augusta. I have heard from several constituents that have used Cape Air in the past, and we want to thank you very, very much for your service. It's unfortunate that our airport is too small to have two services there, because it would be a much easier decision. But, again, thank you very much. And, well, we haven't voted yet, but just wanted to acknowledge that. And we really appreciate all you've done for the city of Augusta. Thank you.
Thank you for doing that, Councilor Mishu. Well done. Is there any other discussion? All right, ask for your vote, please.
Motion carries, 7 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. Next is 26082, which has to do with the Rural Business Development Grant Program.
Move for passage, Mr. Mayor.
And that's been moved by Councilor Lind
Second.
and seconded by Councilor Judkins. Discussion here. Councilor Sinkowitz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I wanted to thank our staff for looking for multiple sources of revenue for this important project for us, specifically a source of revenue that doesn't require a local match. And this is one of the things that our Economic Development Department does regularly for us, is look for ways that we can continue to move our goals forward while finding creative sources of revenue. So thank you very much. I'm excited to vote for this tonight.
Thank you. Further discussion? Please vote.
Motion carries, 7 in favor, 0 opposed.
26083 is next. That's authorization to list for sale certain police department equipment.
Move for passage, Mr. Mayor.
Moved by Councilor Lind
Second.
and seconded by Councilor Judkins. Discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries, 7 in favor, 0 opposed.
Next is 26084, which is authorizing the city manager to accept grant funding from the 2025 Patrick Leahy Bulletproof Vest Program.
Move for passage, Mr. Mayor.
Moved by Councilor Lind,
Second.
seconded by Councilor Judkins. Is there discussion here? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries, 7 in favor, 0 opposed.
All right, next is 26085, which is a first read of an amendment to an existing ordinance. So there's no vote required. I don't know if anyone wants to discuss at this point. Counselor Lynn?
Sure. I just wanted to thank a friend of mine for contacting me when he talked about this last week. The last part of this order talks about somebody with a visual impairment asking for the taxi cab driver to identify themselves and their identification number. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. I thank Cam for putting the language in the ordinance. I didn't think of it, and thank you very much for sending me that email. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, no vote required on that tonight, so we move next to the communications portion of our agenda. Are there any committee reports? Counselor Lynn?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the Bicycle and Pedestrian Safety Committee met last night down in the Learning Gallery at 6. We had a full committee there, with the exception of one person, Ryan Hill. Talked about a variety of items. We talked about the Planning Partnership Initiative a little bit, and they're still seeking information for that. The survey, I think, is still online. Unfortunately, we were planning a bike safety course, a rodeo, but it got rained out. So they're planning for next year to pick a couple dates and maybe look for an inside facility. We did talk about there was a crosswalk that we've been advocating for near the Arboretum on Stone Street. It didn't make it into the CIP, but there was an interesting discussion. And when you get 4 engineers in a room, it's pretty interesting. There's a parking lot on the same side as the Arboretum, a state parking lot, and the Arboretum has been encouraged to use it. There's a very rough path through there. It's state property, so I think our engineers are going to talk to the state about trying to construct a better path and encourage people to park in that parking lot and avoid having to cross the road, which is pretty good. Chief Lally, I don't know if you want to talk about the speeding reduction efforts that you've been doing. This is something we've been asking for, and I'm pretty proud of our police department and their efforts.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, City Manager. Thank you for having me. I just wanted to give a quick update, and that is that through the use of the Bureau of Highway Safety grants that you approve each year, we have some of the extra details. We are still averaging about 200% higher than our contacts last year when it comes to traffic enforcement. That's not speeds by themselves, but that's traffic enforcement as a whole. The nice thing about these contacts is there's a lot of education that can come from it. It doesn't necessarily have to end in a citation, though some do. I'm sure that to the chagrin of many that have been stopped, they've got court dates and other pending dates coming up. But we have been having all kinds of contacts. And again, we look forward to continuing to work with our traffic calming committee, as well as the pedestrian and bicycle safety committee, because a lot of the problematic areas that we identify through those committees and the work of the city get passed on to the police department, and we end up finishing out doing either single officer details or full details at those spots.
Thank you. The committee was appreciative of that. We did have a discussion about soliciting of median strips, and we are concerned about soliciting on one particular median strip near the Senator Inn. The traffic coming from Winthrop from that west side is real fast, and the people soliciting are usually back to that. So there are a variety of options we're trying to explore that doesn't impede somebody's right to solicit, but yet provides or maybe discourage people from using that one small area. It's pretty unsafe. We do have availability for one non-voting member, and we're going to be looking at a high school student in the fall. That's it, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Questions or comments for Eric and his committee? Councilor Morris-Polly.
Yes, thank you. The rebrand committee met on June 1st here at City Center. All but one individual was in attendance. We went over a relatively extensive 30 to 40 questionnaire that really outlined the specifics of what we hope to accomplish working with Portland Design Company so that they have further guidance. And so we're moving along with that. Our next meeting is June 10th at 6 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions or comments for Councilor Morris-Polly? Okay. Councilor Sinkowitz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Opioid Settlement Funds Task Force met for the first time to discuss scoring of the grant applications that we received up through the beginning of May. We had 5 of our 9 members in attendance. 2 were traveling and 2 had work conflicts come up at the last minute. But we started our discussion starting to go through some of our applications, understand our scoring rubric and how we're going about that. We will meet again next week to continue this process. And And in the meantime, we'll be collating our scoring, finding the average of those scores so that we can use that data to make our recommendations and bring them to council in the near-term future. Thank you.
Very good. Other questions or comments? I hear none. So, City Manager, do you have a report?
No report, Your Honor.
No. All right. So, Counselor, City Clerk,
Could I make an announcement?
please, yes.
Absentee voting has ended as of today, but you still have an opportunity to vote on the primary, state primary, and the school budget and the school board vacancy on Tuesday, June 9th at the Augusta Civic Center from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Thank you.
And I think you were remarking to me in the pre-meeting that turnout for the absentee voting has been strong, relatively strong.
Yes, and we've had a very large turnout. It's unexpected, but very nice.
Good. All right. So finally, the council will consider a motion to go into executive session.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilor Lind.
move we head into executive session to discuss employee compensation and assignments on the authority of 1 Maine Revised Statutes, subsection 4056A.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Judkins. If there is any discussion, please vote.
Motion carries, 7 in favor, 0 opposed.
All right, the council will retire to the adjoining conference room for purposes of executive session. I do not anticipate that the council will take any formal action tonight with respect to our discussions in executive session. However, we will come out of executive session for the sole purpose of adjourning our business meeting. Thank you, and good night.